I know that everyone's talking about it, but I don't think many people know how hard it's going to be for a team to trade for Giannis this summer. Under the new CBA, it's very hard to trade for players with big salaries, and Giannis is due at $54 million next year. So this can be the start of a new series. Here is the best package that each team could trade for Giannis. Let's start off with the Atlantic Division. We'll start off with my Boston Celtics, and I have a picture of Brad Stevens because as of today, May 23rd, the Celtics cannot make a trade for Giannis. It is financially impossible. Oh, but what are you talking about? Jaylen Brown makes around the same amount of money as Giannis. Yes, that's the case, but it's slightly less than Giannis, and since the Celtics are way over the second apron, they can't stack players to make the salaries work. Like, even if you include a third team to dump a bunch of other salaries, that won't work. I do think what could happen, though, is the Celtics trade Drew and or Porzingis. I don't know if you'd have to trade both. And dump the salary to like a team that can't afford them. And then you could do the Brown for Giannis trade, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Brooklyn Nets have a lot of roster space open and a whole lot of money to spend. So that being said, the only two players that they could trade for Giannis are Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton. You would have to package those two and then just throw in a bunch of picks. I think it would be able to trade 4 first-round picks and probably like another 2 second-round picks. So if I'm the Bucks, I'm looking at the trade and laughing at it. I think that Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton are great players, but they can't be the only 2 players in the Giannis trade deal. Believe it or not, the Bucks could trade Giannis for Joel Embiid straight up, and it would work out financially. Actually, the Sixers could add in 2 of their cheapest players, and it would also work as well. But do the Bucks want to trade Giannis for Joel Embiid? Joel Embiid's a great player, but there are a lot of concerns with his health, and I don't think that would happen. However, Bucks, you think Jeremy McKinnon's a great player? You know, you could stack him up with Paul George's contract to make that work. Think about it. I'm kidding, by the way. That would be an awful trade. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but the Raptors traded for Brandon Ingram at the trade deadline. People seem to forget about that because he hasn't played for them yet. So in my opinion, the best package to trade for Giannis, making it work financially, would be Ingram and RJ Barrett along with picks for Giannis. The IQ and RJ trade happened for OG Anunoby, so I don't think that's going to quite cut it for a Giannis package deal. Speaking of the Knicks, this is a team that I think will look to trade for Giannis if they don't win the finals, but they don't have a ton of options. The one package that would include Karl-Anthony Towns would be a Karl-Anthony Towns and Miles McBride package. I don't know if they have 1 or 2 first-round picks. They definitely have at least 1, the 2031, but they would have to include, so those 2 guys at least for 1 first-round pick, and I think you'd have to include like 3 second-round picks as well. Any other trade involved getting Giannis for the Knicks would have to include 2 of Mikal, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart. There's a couple of them that I wrote down that work out financially because if you can't package in all 3 of them because that would put the Bucks over the limits. So one of them would be OG and Mikal just for picks. Another one would be OG, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride and picks. Another one would be Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson with picks. So 2 of the 3 of these would have to be in the deal if you're not going to do the Karl-Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride trade. Let me know if you like any of these trade ideas because I'm not a huge fan of any of them.